At this stage of the cycle, the night force is at its lowest ebb. This means that we are the most distant from those collectivizing, unifying things in nature that make us feel like we're part of something, where there are other people there as well, where there are other energies. The sense of belonging is very weak with Gemini because here at the late stages of spring and the beginning of the summer, there is this accent on individual action and individual perception. It is not its business to mix with others that much, unless for the purpose of exchange, very quick exchange, and very dynamic interaction, which is not for the sake of merging with anything and staying with that other thing. It's for the sake of making something for yourself that will be a gift, will be a resource to help you move on to the next stage of your own development. One of the names we can give to Gemini is the student. Well, it could be the teacher too, but some people will say we don't really get to the teacher idea properly before we get to the opposite sign, Sagittarius. With Gemini, it's a lot more about processing and yes, communicating forward too, but first of all, before you teach, you should have learned something. That's the big difference, one of the big differences between Gemini and Sagittarius, the two so-called mental signs, opposite signs of the zodiac. This one is so much personal, while Sagittarius is so much collective and common. So here we have the condition of transmission. This teacher should have learned from another teacher before they move on and share the information with their students. But when I say the student here, I want you to picture the college students, not someone in high school or in early elementary school or something like that, but particularly the beginning of college life and everything that we associate with that. This gives us the spirit of Gemini a lot, I believe, because what happens then? Maybe for the first time, we leave our family environment, our parents, and everything that was giving us this secure, stationary environment. We begin our quest of exploration. What are we capable of on our own, out there in the world, mostly through meeting others who are generally the same age as us in college, and they come from different places. They challenge us because we need to learn how to communicate and present ourselves in a socially acceptable way with them. We have to be using our mind very actively in this communication there, because it's not just about what we study in the actual course of study. That's Gemini enough, because we need to process very big amount of information in a very short time. And this is a challenge on its own, but it's also about mixing with others and this ability to integrate yourself in your immediate environment. This is a very big thing about Gemini, immediate environment. From childhood, from very early years, when this energy starts being active in us for the first time is usually when we begin talking and asking questions for the first time, and we start exploring what's near. It's the near place. That's why this is the energy often associated with your hometown, so-called. Even if you grew up in a big city, you still had a certain perimeter in which you were operating. And it is an act of trying to survive by gaining a new skill, now through your intellect, of how to operate with all those things and people that you find immediately around you. The reason why Gemini and the third house are linked to brothers and sisters, and sometimes also with uncles and aunts and other relatives, like there's this extended family idea, is because usually those were the people that happened to be there when you were born first, and that gave you this initial impressions and challenges. They were the people that you had to talk to receive the first information about the world from, and to ask your questions to. And also, you are observing them as examples of what it's like to be human and what it's like to be here on Earth now and alive and interacting. So, if you have a very populated third house, for example, in your chart, it means that never mind what the planets are there, but a big concentration on the third house already tells us that this person will be very affected by the environment of their early childhood. And later on, with the environment of this place they went to, if they did go to, where they first tested their own ability to be alone in the world and to be mastering that place so that it doesn't overwhelm them, but actually make them stronger. So this is why we go to school and learn different things in the first years. That's our general socialization. We need to be on the same page with others, more or less, so that this exchange can happen later on. This is why we learn languages, foreign languages, so we can expand our field of operation. And this is another very big key point about Gemini. After impulsively being born in Aries and then consolidating your material existence in Taurus, now the step 3 is about expansion, opening yourself to the world, letting it in, allowing things to happen to you so that you can observe them and evaluate them. And also, you are literally consuming them, consuming information. While Taurus was gathering material stuff, possessions, and gradually having more self-assurance because it had more and more of those things, with Gemini is the same, but with information and with the ability to quickly react, to have this quick-witted brain where you are ready for whatever challenge comes to you. Those 3 first signs, they are always guarding themselves against something. They are always afraid that something is going to hit them, attack them. But the fear is different. The fear of Aries was that it will be drawn back to the past, the previous cycle, the roots, and it was so eager to come out and to assert itself as a new individuality. With Taurus, there is this fear of losing ground, of not being grounded, not having enough to survive physically, being so fragile that if you are a little plant, the storm can come and just kill you and not leave your little stem to grow further. And that's why you're trying to fortify it, to make it stronger and build a fence around it, maybe. This is what Taurus does, protection. Well, here, we need to be working on our mind. And if it's successful or not successful can lead to all sorts of things later. How you socialize, how you partner with your mate, how you settle into your profession, how you build your home, all those things will be conditioned later by how well we did our Gemini homework. And this homework is about logical, tangible things we can link together so that they make some sense to us. And they can be used as messages to communicate and express our needs and our desires, mostly through language.